Hi there, it's Jeanette for Whimsy Stamps. Today's video is sharing a card I made using some products from Whimsy Stamps. They all coordinate with each other. I went with a real vintage feel here from the choice of colors and patterned paper and inks that I used to create this card. So I used the Up, Up and Away stamp set, which I'm showing here. You can see all the components to it. And there is a die set that matches, as well as an add-on set with all the sentiments. To start, I am cutting some cardstock. This is, I believe, espresso cardstock from Stampin' Up! And I cut that to measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And here is a sort of tealy green color, and I cut that to measure 4 by 5 1/4. And this is just a piece of old pattern paper I had. It's from Bo Bunny. I'm not sure if it still exists anymore for sale, but it measured 3 3/4 by 5. And then I just cut a little piece of gray cardstock here, and I will be die cutting both the gray cardstock and that pattern paper with the balloon dies from the die set. So I'm just going to position them here and cut them out. And this gray cardstock is going to serve as a shadow, and you'll see what I mean a little later on. I'm going to be putting that behind my patterned paper and slightly offsetting it to sort of give a shadow effect. Now, the reason I chose a pattern paper like this is because it has so many sort of watermark designs on it that are quite pale, but they're still going to show through when I stamp the images onto them, and they'll show through the ink, and this way I don't have to color any of the balloons. The pattern paper is doing that work for me. And you could certainly use different pattern paper. You could use more colorful, fun, sort of quirky pattern paper and create a whole different feel for your card, depending on what you chose. So I'm inking up this first balloon stamp with Tide Pool ink. I'm just going to press and get that stamped up. And I'm going to do the second largest balloon with the same color. And you can see how that design just shows through even after I've placed ink on it. For the smaller balloon, I will be using the Pale Tomato ink, and these are all from Hero Arts. And then each of the balloons comes with a little basket, and I'm going to be stamping all of those with soft brown ink. And in between stamping, I'm cleaning them off with a baby wipe and putting them right back onto the acrylic here so I don't lose them. I'm always worried about losing the little itty bitty clear stamps. I'm going to create some cloud shapes, and I'm using these Fiskar cloud, I guess they're punches. So there's a small one and a larger one, and that's just a quick and easy way to make the clouds. And then I'm taking some soft pool ink and I'm just brushing the edges of my clouds, so that's going to add a little bit of blue to the edges and give them a little bit more dimension so they don't look so flat. So just quickly doing that. I'm going to start to adhere all the components of my card front together, and my tape runner ran out, so I had to use this little one that I was going to use to glue all the balloons together, so I ended up having to use that. I didn't want to stop and change the cartridge in my runner. So you can see how those all mat together. And as I said, you can use any pattern paper that has a, a soft design on it like this and get a really nice look. So here you can see how I'm offsetting the two together, so that little gray cardstock just serves as a little bit of a shadow. And now I'm just placing the clouds and getting an idea of how I want my card to look, and also to make sure I have enough space to stamp the sentiment. So I am going to be putting this one, "Let Your Dreams Take Flight." So I'm just trying to make sure there's enough room and I know where I'm going to stamp it. And I will be using the Kappa Joe. It's sort of a dark brown ink to stamp that. I thought that was a pretty good match for the brown on the rest of the card too, so it sort of all flows together. Now that medium-sized balloon, I am going to pop off the card with some dimensional tape there, and everything else is going to be adhered flat to the card. I'm going to adhere that cloud down, but I'll wait to put the balloon on with the foam tape. I'll get these other two down. And then I can put this one on. So I don't usually make cards that don't involve coloration of some sort, but I was really happy how this one turned out, and I think the key was the use of the pattern paper and the variety of inks that I used, but keeping it all in that sort of vintage color palette. And like I said, you can certainly change this up and make it more cheerful or more whimsical depending on the colors and pattern paper that you use. So all I have to do is pop that onto a card base and my card will be done. A full list of the supplies I used and their links will be found below this video on YouTube or on my blog on February 29th, 2016. Thanks for watching.